starting the journey over here at the Woodpecker lot, and looks like upon closer inspection we have some electrical or plumbing going in. Not entirely sure, but a little bit of a change compared to the last video. So yeah, I'm glad work continues on what is allegedly a new security checkpoint. And then eventually, a new hotel. So yeah, exciting things here at the Woodpecker lot. And they've been working on the areas closest to the parking structure. Still not really sure what the overall look of this is supposed to be. Universal hasn't released any official concept renderings or any of that kind of fun stuff, so it's all one big mystery. Made it down to CityWalk because King Kong has some news for us, some very exciting news. And no, it's not about the update on the bowling alley store coming here to CityWalk. It's something totally different. And that something is Raising Cane's. Yeah, Raising Cane's is coming to CityWalk Hollywood. And you know what? I think this is going to be a very popular location because pretty much every Raising Cane's they build here in Southern California has like the longest line ever. So I have a feeling that this one is going to do really well at Universal. And then over here at Line Friends Square, their digital display is all hooked up and ready to go. I believe the location opens up on April 25th, which also lines up with the opening of Universal FanFest Nights. So perfect timing. Made it in the park and into the Universal Studios store because look at this, they have all new Universal FanFest Nights merchandise. They have a bunch of it already out for you to pick up and grab. Like, look at this. That is going to be very, very popular. People are already screaming for joy. And in the next couple days, I wouldn't be surprised if even more items start to roll out because again, we have about another week until FanFest Nights opens up to the public at the time of making this video. But boy, do they have you covered. Just like Halloween Horror Nights, they have an incredible spread of merchandise. Ooh, look at these iridescent mugs. These are kind of cool. And they got t-shirts and hats and glasses and mugs and sweaters. Oh wow, look at this big Dungeons and Dragons display they got going on here. The whole idea of FanFest Nights is a pretty smart one on Universal's part. I think this is going to be very, very popular and give people something else other than, you know, Halloween Horror Nights when it comes to after-hours events here in Hollywood. Because yeah, not everyone wants to do the scary stuff. And I think this is a good move. Oh, dang, look at this Back to the Future button-up. This is very soft, by the way. I love that. Then here's another one. Again, super soft. Who makes these? Because, oh, Roosevelt. That's why. Super, super high quality. These are $75 for the Back to the Future shirt. It's kind of cool. And what's cool about this idea is just like Halloween Horror Nights, every year you can change it. So it's not the same IP all the time. You can bring in all new video games and fantasy and sci-fi related things. It's so perfect. I think it's going to be a hit. I really do think it's going to be a hit. Yeah, you know, even the squirrel is excited for FanFest. Right now he's working on the lighting, so that's why he's climbing the tree. They have a few more lights to put on the tops of the buildings. And then look at this over here. 10 forward bar. Very similar to Halloween Horror Nights. We're gonna have a nice little setup going on over here. I'm sure they'll have some tables and chairs for you to chill out in. I don't know what's on the menu just yet, but I'm sure the menu items are very tasty. I gotta say, the lighting package for FanFest Nights is pretty insane. Like, this is off the charts as far as all of the intelligent lighting they got going on here at the front of the park. This is like the 4th or 5th truss with like 5 different lights on it. Ooh, and it's pretty busy in the park today. 50 minutes for Forbidden Journey. And it changed right when I was gonna try to read the other ones, but looked like everything else had a 45 to 50 minute wait. So yeah, it's a little crowded today. Again, here's the signage for the Star Trek Red Alert experience. It's a walkthrough experience, and what's really cool is Universal invited me out the other day to check it out. Yeah, Universal Studios gave me a tour of the Star Trek experience and Dungeons and Dragons the other day, so I was able to walk through and see the progress, and they're actually really, really cool. Again, I'm not someone who consumes these particular IP all the time, but I do appreciate art when I see it, and I gotta say, these walkthrough experiences are actually really well done. And this is the thing that's going to set Universal FanFest Nights apart from some of their competitors that do after-hour events. It's very similar to Halloween Horror Nights in the sense of, you know, you get to walk through an experience, but the difference is that you actually get to spend a lot more time in these experiences than you would a normal Halloween Horror Nights haunted house. These experiences are very intimate, and they're gonna last 10 to 15 minutes, just depending on how things kind of play out. And what's cool is these are repeatable. You can go through it again and maybe get a slightly different experience. So I think that's really, really cool. I think people are going to see a lot of good value in this. And this is only the beginning. I mean, this is the very first time Universal Studios Hollywood is doing something like this. And I think over time, as the event gets bigger and bigger and bigger, we're going to see more walkthrough experiences like this. But from what I saw with Star Trek and Dungeons and Dragons, I was very impressed. They're very immersive. And I got to say, the tech that they got going on in these things is going to be really cool. Like they're really pulling out all the stops for everyone that's coming. Because one thing they wanted to make clear when they were touring us through these experiences was that they want this to be a fan-first thing. Like they want to be able to give the fans what they want. And when you're walking through these experiences, you're going to be in small groups and they're going to be pulsed too. So not like Halloween Horror Nights where you're kind of in this like conga line situation. It's going to be very intimate, which I think is going to be a huge hit with people experiencing this. And then over here at the Universal Plaza, you can see the setup continues and more things are starting to show up. Yeah, this is going to be a huge entertainment plaza. They're going to have like games, I think, some contests, cosplay contests, and of course a bunch of live entertainment. That stage has got a bunch of lights on it, so yeah, I can only imagine what they have in store. Over here at Fast and the Furious, there are a lot of crew members on site, which is awesome. I'm sure a lot of work is happening on the interior of the show building, and all the scaffolding has come down around this corner of it, which is very nice. And now that the track work is done too, yeah, I think the focus now turns to hooking this thing up. The LSM fins have not shown up just yet on this area of the track, but crews are working in that spot on some foundation, and eventually they'll start working on the scream shields that will go around that portion of the track. Well, not the straightaway, but the dive loop element. Not sure if the LSM fins have shown up over on the other side of the coaster nearest the escalators, but we'll check up on that in just a few moments. Other than that, I'm not really seeing too many differences. This is the part of the project where it just kind of comes down to little tiny things, as again, they get ready to hook the coaster up and prepare it for its testing phase, which will last for a few months. The testing phase will go on for a long time. But those initial pull-throughs are going to be a lot of fun, and I hope that they do some of those pull-throughs during the day, so we'll have a nice chance to see that in person. Made it to the other side of the project, closest to the escalator, and it looks like a portion of the catwalk is being installed where the other LSM boost is going to be located, and I'm not seeing the fins just yet. Let me kind of move around the corner here. Yeah, I don't see them. I think it's just the catwalk installation, and then maybe the fins will come after. Yeah, you can see right there. They're not in just yet. And you can see right there, more pieces of that catwalk are being staged right next to all of the electrical boxes. But look at this, scaffolding has come down around the station opening, and we can kind of get a view of inside the building a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell in video, but yeah, that interior space is massive, the load and unload. But other than that, there's really not much else to talk about when it comes to the coaster. Again, it's just the little tiny things that they're working on. Very soon they're going to start the installation of the steel that goes right here for the scream shields that will go over the escalator. It's going to go over like this section right here. But yeah, other than that, it's looking the same. Nothing too crazy going on for Fast and the Furious this week. And if you're wondering about the sound wall, that's what it looks like. Really no progress on that either. I think they're going to wait until they install the LSMs and maybe the catwalks and all that kind of fun stuff that go over there. But for right now, it's just the same pieces of steel. Now, switching gears, here is your latest look on the Hillside. A lot of progress has happened in just a short period of time. A lot of steel is going into the ground because they're getting ready to build what looks to be a retaining wall. And I'm also thinking that this is the start of something a lot larger here at Universal Studios Hollywood. But yeah, a lot of crew on site. And even over here on the other end of the Mummy queue line, they're digging a trench to probably install some plumbing or rework the plumbing or electrical in that area. Because I have a feeling that this is going to look a lot different here in the next 6 to 12 months. This is going to be a night and day difference for sure. And here's a slightly closer look. We have, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, probably 20 pieces of steel that have gone into the hillside here because it stretches all the way towards that side as well. But yeah, this looks to be a massive retaining wall in the works. And yeah, like I've been saying, the possibility that maybe something larger is coming into this space as they prepare for a potential expansion. I mean, it makes sense that Universal would want to expand its offerings here in Hollywood. They've finished up with Epic Universe. They're about to start a project in the UK here very, very soon. And what about Hollywood? I'm sure Hollywood would like some love, and I think that's what they're about to do. And here's another view of the ongoing work here on the hillside and next to the Mummy Queue. Yeah, I have a feeling that we're about to see some insane amount of work here at Universal Studios Hollywood. This is just the tip end of that monumental task, I think. We shall see. This could be a whole lot of nothing. I mean, I'm still hoping that it's a cotton candy stand, but I don't know. They keep failing me on the cotton candy stand idea. I mean, it's a great idea. It'd be awesome. I'll even give them a popcorn stand, but I don't know. I don't think they're building a popcorn or a cotton candy stand here. And especially since Disneyland is about to start on their Disneyland Forward project, yeah, I don't see why Universal would just sit back and be like, no, it's okay, Disney, you can go ahead and do your Disneyland Forward thing. We're just gonna be good with a roller coaster. No, I think Universal has their own version of a massive plan, and we just could be seeing the start of it. And who knows, they might want to finish some of this stuff in time for the Summer Olympics. Officially made it down to the lower lot, and look at this. They have a Dungeons and Dragons bar all set up and ready to go. Again, very similar to Halloween Horror Nights. They're just using the same formula. Why not? And it looks like, judging by this sign, First Roll Tavern, that you're gonna have to roll snake eyes in order to get a drink. Well, that's going to do it for today's very quick update from Universal Studios Hollywood. I'll cover Halloween Horror Nights in a different video. Today I just wanted to check out the FanFest merchandise and obviously show you guys a little sneak peek at some of those walkthrough experiences that you'll be able to see during the event. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you can let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and you love these videos from Universal Studios Hollywood or some of your other favorite theme parks, well, you should consider subscribing because I have brand new videos every single week that you won't want to miss out on. And also be sure to check me out on X and Instagram. Those links will be down below in the description. Until the next video, though, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. And I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.